You are not here by chance. If this message has found you, if your eyes are scanning these words and an energy is stirring within your chest, it is because a signal has been sent and it has been received. This is not an accident. This is not a coincidence. This is resonance. It is the physics of consciousness in action. There is a part of you buried deep beneath the noise and static of your everyday life that knows. It's a silent observer, a timeless awareness that has been watching the movie of your life, watching the character you play, and it has finally whispered, enough. You are here because the old version of yourself, the identity you have worn like a heavy coat, is ready to dissolve. This isn't a failure. It's not a sign that you are broken. In fact, it is the most profound sign that you are whole. The part of you that is infinite is finally calling you to shed the part of you that is finite. You have been feeling it, haven't you? A subtle, hollow ache, a divine dissatisfaction with the world that once seemed so solid. The job, the relationships, the routines, they have become tasteless, empty. This isn't depression. This is your soul outgrowing its container. This is the first signal that your energetic matrix is preparing for a quantum leap. The identity you think you are is not who you are. It is a program. It is an operating system installed in your earliest moments by your parents, your culture, your traumas, and your experiences. It was designed for one purpose: survival. It built walls to keep you safe. It created patterns to make you predictable. It learned to seek validation from the outside world because it forgot that its source was within. For years, this program has run your life on autopilot. It has been the ghost in the machine, making your decisions, feeling your fears, and repeating your past. But now, you are awakening to the program. You are beginning to see the code. This message is not for the program. The program, your ego, your mind will hear this and it will panic. It will label this as nonsense or dangerous or crazy. Why? Because this message is a virus to the old system. It is the end task command. The mind's entire job is to maintain the status quo, to control, to predict, and to survive. This message is for the observer, the one who is watching the mind panic, the awareness that is not the program. You are on the event horizon of a transformation so profound, it will shatter the very foundation of your reality. It is the death of the false self, and it is the birth of the true you, the you that exists beyond time, beyond fear, beyond limitation, the you that is connected to the infinite quantum field of all possibility. The shift is already in motion. You cannot stop it, but you must choose. Will you surrender to this metamorphosis? Will you trust the process, step into the unknown, and allow the old you to fall away? Or will you cling to the fading illusion? Will you fight to save a program that was never truly alive? The fact that you are here right now means the choice has already been made by a deeper part of you. You are ready to remember. You are ready to awaken. For your entire life, you have been fed a beautiful and powerful lie. It is the central myth of our culture. The lie is this: to change your life, you must add something to it. You must gain new knowledge. You must build new habits. You must acquire more willpower, more discipline, more positive thoughts. You have been told to fix yourself, to heal your wounds, to improve your personality, and to build a better future. So you try. You declare war on your bad habits. You wake up early, you meditate, you write affirmations on your mirror. You try to force the old, limited you to be happy, to be confident, to be abundant. You are trying to manage the program. You are trying to upgrade the prison. And what happens? It's an exhausting, relentless battle. You may make progress for a day or a week, but inevitably, the gravity of the old program pulls you back. The old patterns, the old fears, the old neural pathways are too deep. You fall back. And when you do, you are left with a deeper sense of failure, a deeper conviction that you are the problem, that you are fundamentally broken. Have you ever truly stopped to ask why this battle is so hard? Why does positive thinking feel like a lie? Why do affirmations feel hollow? It's because you are trying to decorate a prison cell. You are spray painting the walls of your cage and calling it freedom. You are rearranging the furniture in a box, hoping it will feel like the infinite sky. You are attempting to run brand new, infinite quantum software on an ancient, corrupted, limited operating system. It cannot work. The system itself is the limitation. The mystics of Tibet had a powerful phrase for this. They warned, you cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. The new wine is the infinite potential of the quantum field. It is the frequency of your highest self. The old wineskins are the rigid, brittle containers of your past identity, your ego, your limited beliefs. When you try to force this new, expansive energy into the old, contracted container, the container cannot hold it. It will either reject the new energy, you forget your new habit, or the entire structure will crack under the pressure. You have a breakdown. True transformation is not an addition. It is not an upgrade. It is a subtraction. It is a dissolution. It is not about becoming someone new. It is about unbecoming everything you are not. It is a process of emptying the cup. It is a process of letting go. You cannot fix the old you. The old you is not broken. It is outdated. It is obsolete. It has served its purpose. Think of the caterpillar. The caterpillar doesn't go to caterpillar self-help seminars. It doesn't read books on how to be a better caterpillar. It doesn't set goals to grow wings. When the time comes, it doesn't improve itself. It surrenders. It stops being a caterpillar. It dissolves its entire being into a raw, primordial soup. It must become nothing so that it can become everything it was always destined to be. It must surrender to the cocoon. You have been trying to be a better, faster, happier caterpillar. You have been trying to tape wings to your caterpillar self. The universe is not calling you to be a better version of your old self. It is calling you to stop being that self entirely. It is calling you to trust the cocoon, to embrace the darkness, the unknown, the dissolution, because it is only in that sacred void that your true form, your wings, can be forged. What is this quantum shift? We've been trained to think of change as a slow, linear, step-by-step process, a gradual crawl from point A to point B. This is the logic of the mind. This is the logic of the program. The quantum shift is not linear. It is vertical. It is not a gradual process. It is a moment. It is an instant of profound reorganization. It is a collapse. It is the precise, measurable, scientific instant when the old you, the old energetic signature, the old program ceases to exist as a dominant probability in the quantum field. How does this happen? Through the power of the observer. Quantum physics has shown us beyond any doubt that our reality at the subatomic level exists as a wave of infinite possibilities until it is observed. The act of observation, the act of consciousness, is what collapses that infinite wave into a single, real particle, a single experience. For your entire life, the observer has been your ego, your conditioned mind, your program, and this observer, which is built from the past, has been collapsing the same reality over and in, day after day. It wakes up, it expects the same reality, it looks for the same patterns, and so it creates the same patterns. You are trapped in a feedback loop from your own past, manifested in your present. To change your reality, you cannot just change your actions, you must change the observer. This is the great hidden secret of the mystics. This is what they meant by the death of the false self. This is the surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It is not giving up. It is not passive. Surrender is the most active, courageous, and powerful act a human being can take. It is the conscious, intentional choice to stop identifying with the program. It is the moment you step back from the control panel of your mind. It is the moment you look at the fear, the limitations, the stories, the I am not good enough, the I am afraid, and you say with the full power of your being, I see you, but I am not you. I am the awareness that sees you. In that moment of total detachment, in that profound letting go of who you thought you were, a sacred vacuum is created, a void. This void is not empty. It is the womb of creation. It is the quantum field in its pure, unmanifested, superposition state. The mind, the ego, hates this void. It is the unknown. It is the death of its identity. It is the end of its control. The moment you step into this void, the program will scream. It will flood your body with terror. It will flash your worst-case scenarios before your eyes. It will tell you that you are dying, that you are losing everything. But you must remember, what you are losing is not yourself. You are losing your prison. You are losing the illusions that have blocked your power. You are releasing the false identity, the mask, so that your authentic, eternal, infinite self can finally step forward and breathe. This shift doesn't happen through willpower. It doesn't happen through positive thinking. It happens in a moment of complete and total surrender. This is the jump. This is the quantum leap. You cannot see the other side of the chasm. You cannot guarantee your landing. You must let go of the old shore completely and absolutely and trust the physics of consciousness. You must trust that the act of letting go is the very thing that creates the new shore for you to land on. To truly grasp why this act of letting go is the only path, we must journey deeper into the mechanics of consciousness. We must understand what you are, not as a physical body, but as an energetic field. Think of the quantum field as an infinite ocean of energy. It is everything. It is the void, and it is all potential within the void. This ocean is vibrating at every possible frequency at the same time. Every reality, every timeline, every possible version of you already exists in this field as a pure vibrational potential. There is a version of you that is fearless, abundant, and living in total creative freedom. That you exists right now as a frequency in the field. There is also a version of you that is stuck, fearful, and repeating the same painful patterns. That you also exists as a frequency. All possibilities exist simultaneously in this quantum superposition. So, why is your life the way it is? Why are you experiencing this reality and not the other? Because you, yourself, are a broadcast tower. Your identity is not a thing, it is an activity. It is a vibrational signature. This signature is created by the combination of your dominant habitual thoughts and your dominant habitual emotions. Thoughts are the electrical charge. Emotions are the magnetic charge. Together, they create your electromagnetic field, your state of being. This state of being is your frequency. It is the signal you are broadcasting into the quantum field 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the quantum field, by its very nature, must respond. It is an infinite mirror. It doesn't give you what you want with your mind. It doesn't give you what you ask for with your words. It gives you a perfect reflection of what you are. It gives you a perfect match for your frequency. This is the observer collapse, happening moment to moment. When you wake up every morning, you are not just a person getting out of bed. You are a consciousness collapsing infinite possibilities into a single solid reality. How? By choosing, almost always, unconsciously, to be the same person you were yesterday. You tune your dial to the same frequency. You activate the same emotional patterns: doubt, unworthiness, frustration, fear. You think the same 60,000 thoughts you thought yesterday, and so the universe must deliver to you more experiences that match that frequency. It must give you more reasons to doubt, more evidence of your unworthiness, more situations that create frustration. Your reality is a feedback loop of your identity. This is what neuroscientists call neural superhighways. Your repeated thoughts and emotions have carved deep grooves in your brain. These patterns have become so automatic, so unconscious, that they feel like you, but they are not you. They are just the path of least resistance for your energy. They are a habit of vibration. This is why trying to change your life from the outside fails. When you try to think a positive thought, I am abundant, while your body and being are broadcasting the frequency of lack, you are creating an incoherent signal. You are broadcasting two opposing frequencies. The universe doesn't know what to reflect, so it reflects the dominant one. And the dominant one is always the one that is embodied, the one you feel, the one that is automatic. The only way to permeate permanently change your reality is to change your frequency. And you cannot broadcast a new frequency while you are still clinging to the old identity. The old identity is the old frequency. You must stop broadcasting the old signal. You must unplug. The moment you stop identifying with those patterns, the moment you stop energizing them with your attention and your emotion, they begin to weaken. The wave function that was holding that old reality in place begins to decohere. This is not magic. This is physics. This is liberation. This convergence of cutting-edge science and ancient spirituality is not an accident. It is a rediscovery. What quantum mechanics is now proving in laboratories with particle accelerators and complex equations, the mystics, shamans, and masters of every spiritual tradition understood through direct experience thousands of years ago. They didn't have the language of quantum physics, but they had mapped the terrain of consciousness itself. They are pointing to the exact same truth. The ancient Vedic texts of India, written millennia ago, spoke of Maya, the grand illusion, the cosmic veil of deception that makes us believe the projection. This physical world, our separate selves, is the only reality. They taught that our separate self, the ego, is merely a character in a vast cosmic play, but that our true nature, the Atman, is the entire ocean of consciousness that is dreaming the play. The Buddhist teachings of anatta, or non-self, point to the exact same realization. The Buddha taught that the I we cling to, the self we work so hard to defend and improve, is not a fixed, solid thing. It is a process. It is a temporary collection of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, changing from moment to moment. The entire practice of mindfulness is to observe this process without identifying with it, to let go of the attachment to this false, fleeting identity. The mystics of Tibet map this process of dissolution with stunning precision in the Bardo Thodol, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. They describe the intermediate state, the Bardo, that consciousness passes through between death and rebirth. But what if this isn't just about the physical death of the body? What if the bardo is the quantum void? What if it is the neural gap, the in-between space that consciousness must pass through during a profound transformation? The gap between the death of the old identity and the rebirth of the new one. Their descriptions of ego dissolution, of reality frames shattering, and of identity collapsing. They are a perfect match for what modern neuroscientists are observing in brain scans during deep meditative states, or what researchers at Johns Hopkins are documenting in consciousness-expanding experiences. The Sufi mystic and poet Rumi wrote, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life?" He knew that our limited identity, the crawler, is not our true nature. It is a choice. It is a preference born of fear and conditioning to crawl when we are built to fly. The Zen master Dogen in the 13th century taught that enlightenment is not something you gain. It is simply dropping off body and mind, not destroying them, but releasing our identification with them as the totality of who we are. It is the realization that you are not in the body. You are not in the mind. You are the space in which the body and mind are happening. Even the ancient alchemists of Europe knew this. Their quest to turn lead into gold was not a crude material quest for wealth. It was a metaphor, a deeply encoded map for the transformation of consciousness. The lead was the heavy, dense, dark, fear-based ego. The gold was the light, radiant, incorruptible, authentic self. And what was the first and most crucial stage of this entire alchemical process? They called it the negredo, the blackening. It was the dissolution, the putrefaction, the breaking down of the lead back into its raw, primary, undefined matter. Every tradition, every master, every mystic, and now every quantum physicist is pointing a finger at the exact same unavoidable truth. To be reborn, you must first die. The old self must dissolve for the new self to emerge from the infinite field of potential. It is not a metaphor. It is quantum mechanical. Every soul that has ever undergone a true transformation has a parking lot story. It is the 2 a.m. moment, the floor of the bathroom, the car pulled over on the side of a dark road. It is the moment where the entire scaffolding of your life has crumbled. It is the moment where you are sitting in the dark. The tears are coming from a place so deep you didn't know it existed, and every single thing you used to use to define who you were is gone. Your career, your relationship, your health, your sense of security, your entire identity. For months or perhaps years, you felt it coming. You felt the pull of the universe, the divine dissatisfaction, the inner nagging knowing that the life you were living was a lie. It was a script written by someone else. It was a role you were playing to please a world that was never going to give you permission to be you. But every single time you considered making a change, every time you thought about walking away, the program flooded you with fear. What will people think? How will you survive? You are too old to start over. You are throwing your entire life away. You must understand, those weren't your fears. They were the program's fears. They were the ego's fears. They were the dying screams of the old identity, an operating system that knows its only function is to survive and maintain control. It identifies your existence with its existence, and it will fight to the death to stop you from unplugging it. But in that 2 a.m. moment, something finally breaks. You are too tired to fight anymore. You are too exhausted to pretend. You are too broken to even try to fix it. The program has run out of options, and in that moment of complete, total, absolute breakdown, you finally do the one thing you have been terrified to do your entire life. You let go. You stop trying to figure it out. You stop trying to manage the situation. You stop trying to be strong. You stop trying. You just surrender. You surrender to the unknown. You surrender to the void. You surrender to the pain, to the fear, to the not knowing with every single cell in your being. And in that instant, the entire quantum field shifts. The old reality, which was being held in place by your identification with it and your resistance to it, shatters. The wave function of your old, painful timeline collapses. It is not a destruction. It is a liberation. What happens next defies all logic. It defies everything the old program told you was possible. Within days or weeks, opportunities appear from nowhere. People who are perfectly aligned with your new, authentic frequency enter your life as if by magic. Resources materialize. Synchronicities become so fast and so loud that you can't possibly ignore them. But the most profound change isn't the external one. It's the internal one. Where there was a constant gnawing anxiety, there is now a deep, unshakable peace. Where you felt limited, you now feel infinite possibility. Where you felt separate and alone, you now feel a deep, loving, profound connection to all of life. This is the rebirth. This is the resurrection. The old you didn't evolve into the new you. The old you dissolved, and the new, authentic, true you emerged from an entirely different dimension of consciousness. This isn't just a story, it is the mechanic of transformation. It is the story of every soul that has ever awakened, and if you are listening to this, it is the story that is calling to become yours. How do you know when this quantum shift is beginning? How do you know if you are in the bardo, the in-between space, the cocoon? The universe does not speak in the blunt, logical language of the human mind. It speaks in a language of energy, frequency, symbols, and feeling. It is constantly sending you signals, constantly nudging you toward your highest timeline. Most people miss them. They miss them because they are looking for large, dramatic, external validation. They are looking for a booming voice from the clouds. But the language of the quantum field is subtle. It is a whisper. It is a feeling. Here are the primary signals that your consciousness is preparing for a massive expansion. Pay attention. 1. The divine dissatisfaction. This is the first and most common sign. The things that used to satisfy you, the things that used to bring you comfort, just don't anymore. Your job, which is fine and secure, suddenly feels like a cage. Your relationships, which are comfortable, feel like they are limiting your growth. Your daily routines feel hollow, meaningless. This is not depression. This is your soul's compass. It is your higher self tapping you on the shoulder, whispering, you are made for more than this. You are outgrowing this container. 2. The amplification of old patterns. This is the one that confuses most people. Suddenly your oldest, darkest patterns, your deepest fears, your anger, your anxiety, your victimhood come roaring to the surface. They become louder and more intense than ever before. This is what the great consciousness researcher, Dr. David Hawkins, called the final purgation. This is not a sign that you are going backward. It is a profoundly good sign. These patterns are losing their unconscious grip on you. They are no longer running in the background. They are being forced into the light of your awareness. The monster is coming out of the basement, not to attack you, but to be seen by you, so that you can finally stop identifying with it and let it go. 3. The reality glitches. Synchronicities. You start to notice the glitches in the matrix. You look at the clock and it's 11:11 again. You see 222, 333, 444, 555 on license plates, on receipts, on your phone. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and they immediately call or text you. You have a question in your mind, and the answer literally appears in a song on the radio, on a billboard, or in a random conversation you overhear. These are not coincidences. Coincidence is the word the old program uses to dismiss physics. This is the universe winking at you. It is evidence that your consciousness is desynchronizing from the old, rigid, linear timeline and beginning to operate from a higher, multidimensional frequency where time is not as solid as you thought. Paul, the body as a quantum compass. Your physical body becomes an exquisite, highly calibrated guidance system. As you attune to higher frequencies, your sensitivity increases dramatically. You can feel the difference between alignment and misalignment. Expansion, the path of your true self, feels light, energizing, spacious in your chest. Contraction, the path of the old program and fear, feels heavy, draining, restrictive, tight. The old you used to rationalize the heavy feelings. The old you would push through the discomfort. The new you is learning that this feeling is your only truth. 5. The arrival of quantum mentors. The universe begins to literally reorganize itself around your emerging truth. The exact book you need accidentally falls off a shelf into your hands. A conversation with a total stranger opens a door you never knew existed. You stumble upon a video or a teacher or a channel like this one at precisely the right moment to receive the exact information you need for your next step. These are quantum mentors, people, resources, and information that are divinely orchestrated to reflect your highest potential back to you and guide you on your journey. If you are experiencing any or all of these, you are not going crazy. You are awakening. You are in the sacred, tumultuous, and profoundly powerful process of a quantum shift. There is one stage of this journey that we must speak of. It is the most challenging, the most confusing, the most terrifying, and the most necessary part of the entire transformation. It is the stage where most people panic. It is the stage where most people turn back. It is what the mystics of old called the dark night of the soul. What is it? Really, it is the cocoon. It is the negrido, the alchemical blackening. It is the void. It is the period of time, and it is a period of time. It is not just a single moment that exists after you have let go of the old, but before the new has fully materialized. This is the ultimate test of faith. Not faith in a God outside of you, but faith in the process of consciousness itself. You are no longer the caterpillar. You have surrendered. You have dissolved, but you are not yet the butterfly. You are goo. In this space, everything that used to give your life meaning feels empty. Everything you used to rely on for security feels unstable. Everything you used to turn to for your identity feels foreign and false. Your mind panics in this space. This is the neural gap that neuroscientists have identified. It is the literal space in your brain where the old dominant neural pathways have dissolved, but the new neural pathways aligned with your future self have not yet fully formed and myelinated. You are literally in between two worlds. You are undefined. This is terrifying for the ego. The ego is definition. The ego is identity. The ego is knowing. In the void, the ego feels like it is dying because it is. This is the moment where you will be tempted to go back, to run to a new identity, a new relationship, a new addiction, a new dogma, anything to fill the void, anything to make you feel solid again. You must resist this temptation. This dark night is not a breakdown. It is a breakthrough. This is not a punishment. It is a sacred and necessary process of recalibration. Your entire being, your physical body, your nervous system, your mind, your energy field is being rewired for a much higher frequency of consciousness. The old, dense, heavy, fear-based energy must be purged from your cells, and this dark night is the deepest part of that purge. In this void, there is nothing to do. This is the hardest part for the program to accept. You cannot think your way out of it. You cannot will the new reality to come faster. You cannot fix the void. Your only job is to be. Your only job is to trust. Your only job is to surrender to the process, to trust the goo, to trust the darkness, to trust the not knowing. This is the 2 a.m. parking lot moment, stretched out over weeks or months, or sometimes even longer. It is the ultimate act of faith. You must trust that the dissolution is a non-negotiable part of the creation. You must trust that the divine architect of the butterfly knows exactly what it is doing. You must allow yourself to be unmade so that you can be reborn. Do not be afraid of the void. It is not empty. It is full. It is the womb of everything. It is the quantum field of infinite possibility, waiting for the new, authentic you to give it a new signal. And what emerges from it, what emerges from that darkness, is the real you, the you that was always waiting beneath the layers of conditioning and fear, the you that knows how to fly. What happens when you don't run? What happens when you trust the void? What is on the other side of that dark night? Emergence. But the you that emerges is not the old you, improved. It is not a shinier, happier, more spiritual caterpillar. It is a completely new organism. It operates on a different set of physical and energetic principles. It perceives a different reality because it is tuned to a different reality. When you truly let go, when you stop fighting, and when you stop identifying with the old program of fear and limitation, your entire biological system undergoes what neuroscientists call coherent reorganization. Every system in your body, which was previously running in a state of stress and incoherence, the fight or flight of the ego, begins to function at a higher level of efficiency, harmony, and intelligence. First, your nervous system recalibrates. The constant low-grade fight-or-flight response, which was the baseline operating state for the old fear-based identity, dissolves. Your adrenal glands stop overproducing cortisol. Your heart rate variability, a key indicator of health and resilience, increases. In its place, a profound and unshakable peace floods your being. This is not the peace of having everything figured out or having all your problems solved. It is the quantum peace of knowing that you don't need to figure it out. It is the peace that comes from no longer fighting reality. It is the peace of trusting the flow. Second, your biology literally changes. Dr. Bruce Lipton's groundbreaking research in the field of epigenetics has proven this beyond a shadow of a doubt. When you change your consciousness, your core beliefs, your emotional state, your identity, You literally change the signals being sent to your cells. You literally change which genes are expressed in your body. The genes associated with stress, inflammation, aging, and disease become less active. They are down-regulated. The genes associated with vitality, regeneration, longevity, and health become more active. They are up-regulated. You are not just changing your mind, you are changing your body at a cellular genetic level. Third, your cognitive function transforms. When you are no longer using 90% of your vast mental and creative energy to maintain a false identity, to defend the ego, to suppress your authentic impulses, and to worry about a future that doesn't exist, your mind becomes crystal clear. It becomes silent. Creative ideas flow effortlessly. Problems that seemed impossible to the old you suddenly have simple, elegant solutions that pop into your awareness. Your intuition, which was once a tiny buried whisper you constantly doubted, becomes a roar. It becomes your primary guidance system. You stop thinking your way through life and you start feeling and knowing your way. You begin to live from what the Zen masters called beginner's mind. Every moment is fresh. Every person is a new experience. You are no longer approaching life from the scars of your past, but from the infinite presence of the now. Your relationships transform. You no longer need anything from anyone. You stop looking for validation, for security, for love, for completion, because you have become the source of it. You love from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack. And just like in the 2 a.m. breakdown story, opportunities, abundance, and creative flow begin to appear. Money flows more easily because you are no longer blocking it with a frequency of unworthiness. Health improves because you are no longer creating illness with internal conflict. This is what I call quantum trust. It is an unshakable, embodied faith in the intelligence of life itself. You know at a cellular level that the universe is conspiring for you. You know that everything is happening for your highest good. You know that letting go isn't about losing anything. It's about gaining everything. The quantum shift is complete. The emergence has happened. You have navigated the darkness of the void. You are no longer the caterpillar. You are the butterfly. But this is not the end of the journey. This is the real beginning. You have now moved from being an unconscious reactor to the world, to becoming a conscious creator of your reality. You have graduated. You have moved from being a victim of the old program to being the master of your own energy. This is the path of the awakened self. You now understand the mechanics of reality. You know that your frequency is your power. You know that your state of being is your broadcast. You know that the quantum field is a mirror, not a master. So what comes next? You begin to consciously play in the quantum field. The Siddhis, as the ancient Vedic texts called them, the supernatural abilities or powers, begin to emerge. But you realize they are not supernatural at all. They are your natural state. They are the birthright of consciousness, accessible to anyone who has completed the journey of letting go of the false, limited identity. Your intuition becomes radically amplified. It is no longer a gut feeling. It is direct knowing. You know things without knowing how you know. You know what to do, where to go, and who to speak to. Your power to manifest becomes instantaneous. You stop trying to manifest. The very concept of trying becomes absurd. You simply choose a new reality. You choose a new frequency. You embody the feeling of that reality now, and the quantum field, by its very law, must reflect it back to you. Coincidences and synchronicities are no longer a rare surprise. They are the normal daily language of your life. Your very presence becomes a catalyst for transformation, because you are now holding a high, coherent, clear frequency of peace, love, and authenticity. You energetically entrain the field of everyone around you. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to try to heal anyone. Your being becomes the message. Your being becomes the healing. Your presence becomes the permission slip for others to awaken too. You understand that your only responsibility is to maintain your own vibration, to stay in alignment with your authentic truth. You are no longer just observing reality. You are consciously participating in its creation. You are the quantum reflection. You are the universe itself, becoming aware of itself through you. This is the journey we are on. This is the great expansion of consciousness. This transformation is not just possible, it is your destiny. It is your birthright. The very fact that you have stayed until this moment, that this energy is resonating deep within your soul, is the proof. It is the signal that you are ready. The old you is not the real you. The old you was just a dream, and you are the dreamer, finally waking up. If you're ready to expand your consciousness and step into your next quantum leap, subscribe now. Leave a comment below with your biggest realization, and share this message with someone ready to awaken.